Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite Aunties podcast. Nia.
Yes.
Friend.
Yes, friend.
I don't take that title lightly.
You shouldn't.
You know, I'm not too familiar with you. I don't want to be too familiar with my friends, but like, you really are my girl. And I'm trying to figure out what was the green light that let me be like, no, I want to keep this one.
That made me be like that?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about me. I'm like, what was the defining moment where I was just like, yeah, I want her around? Because you keep on saying I wasn't fooling with you at first. And I'm just like, what do you mean? I feel like there must have been something going on in my life.
Christ and Christ alone. Oh, Christ, the solid rock I stand.
Okay.
All other ground. I was sinking sand, honey.
Sinking sand, honey?
You said, Nia, she is sinking sand. I can't do it.
But eventually I came around. I think I was just trying to figure out how saved you was, honey.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
You were saved.
I was. We still are. Let's stop saying that. Like, we just needed to see where each other was, okay? That's all it was.
Sure. You can categorize it as that.
Okay, well, what was a green flag for you?
A green flag for you in our relationship. Commonality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, although our personalities are different, we had a lot of common experiences and we were at a common place in life. And I feel like that's always a really good, well, I can't say it's a really good anchor for friendship, because the thing is, if your friendship is built off of what y'all have in common and then suddenly y'all don't have that in common no more, then your friendship falls apart.
Yeah.
But it's a good basis to start a friendship, because now we have things to talk about. We're able to relate and things like that. But that is a good point, though. You can't build the whole friendship off commonality because life changes. And then if that's all y'all got, then
that's all you got. So what you got is out.
Like, I've been friends with people I worked with, but then work was all we had in common. So when I didn't work there anymore, now we don't talk no more, because that's what it was built off of. So if you want, it's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying, you know, that's how you build relationship with people. It starts with commonality. But if a real friendship can't just be based off of that.
That's good. So what was yours?
What
was your green flag?
I said commonality.
Okay, what's another one?
I think like your flexibility. Like, our friendship started with me asking you to do stuff with me, and you would do them with me. So that was really helpful, you know, for you to actually be like, yes, okay, I will go. I
will be outside with you in the daytime or the night.
Yeah, because that's how, you know how I am. Like, I like to do things like not just happenstance, but like, I want to go to this concert, I want to go do this activity, I want to go try this new restaurant. Like, I like to do particular things. And so when I would ask you to do those things with me, you'd be like, yes. I'm like, thank you.
Like, yeah, I'm down, let's go.
Yeah, because I had got to the place where I was tired of waiting on people, and so even though I didn't want to, I had started doing things by myself. But I kind of got to that place, and y'all have heard me talk about it on the podcast before, where I felt God nudging my heart to spend more time with my single friends.
Yeah.
And so having you actually say, yes, I will do that with you. Whereas I was at a point where people, like, they either didn't have it, or they didn't have time, or they couldn't find a babysitter, or they you know.
It was always something.
It was always something. And so I ended up either missing out or having to do it by myself. So it was really nice to have somebody like be like, yes, I will go to that event with you. Yes, I will go to that concert. Yes, I will.
Okay, cool.
That was really nice.
I do what I can.
Yeah, what about you?
My green flag for you is you are very authentic.
Well, let's talk about the green flags in the beginning.
The green flags in the beginning. You showed up. Like, you were a show up person. You're very supportive, and I really appreciated that, because it's not so with everyone. You know, so you showed up. Like, you came to like the Bible studies, or like you would get on the prayer call or something. Like, the prayer call was in the mornings, like that's at 5 a.m. So the fact that you would be supportive in that way, that really meant a lot to me. And I feel like you were just invested in me, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
this is something that I need to make sure that I water. So that was like really important.
How did I fit into the friendships that you had going on at the time?
I feel like you understood the most. That commonality that you talked about, you just got it. There were certain things that I did not even have to explain. I feel like when the minute we started having those aha moments with each other, that is just really when our friendship, like, wait a minute, I could talk to you about this? Oh my God. Because it's hard when you feel as though you cannot talk to your friends about what you're going through because they just don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you're wanting to talk about things, you don't have time to talk to someone who doesn't get it.
Yeah. Especially when you already know what they're going to say.
Right. Because you would have said the same things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So to be in relationship with you and you got it, I was just like, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Less disclaimers, less, oh, I got to explain myself. Oh, I got to make sure that I always tell them, like, look, I'm still saved.
Hello? I think we should stay right there. Like, just the overall pressure of having to always explain, I haven't left God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that within itself, you and I had a separate conversation about how sometimes we get under scrutiny about the different things that we talk about on this show, but it's because you don't have those safe spaces with even the closest people around you. Because until they understand or have been where you are, they just don't get it. Or even when they are where you are, they still have a different experience and perspective.
Correct.
So when you find somebody who just gets it, you will latch on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a really good friend. I mean, we're really good friends now, but at the time when our friendship blossomed, I had already started like a deconstruction phase. I know people hate that term. I hate that term too because I feel like it's been just twisted into stuff
Something
that is
very negative.
Yeah, very, very, very. But I had already started that, and none of my friends just really understood where I was at, and then also I thank God for nudging me to spend time with my single friends because that's the phase of life that I was in. And I think because of, I guess, teaching that we had, you know, I was always taught, you know, if you want to be married, then you need to get around married people, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But then I found myself only around married people.
Right.
And I'm not married. So the commonality there was missing.
Mm-hmm.
The lifestyle was missing. And so there were just certain elements that weren't there in my other friendships. And so I was saying that I have a really good friend now where we went through a time where she felt like where I was in my spiritual walk was like in rebellion. And it took a lot. It took a lot for me to go through that. And again, we are still friends to this day, and she totally understands where I am now.
I want to make it very clear.
But in the moment,
yeah,
I just was like, nobody understands. Like, yes. I love the Lord. Yeah. I really do.
Ain't gonna take it back.
I just am working through some different things right now. And so God had me in a season where I was just working through stuff. And I'm glad that I had that season because I'm on the other side of it now and I understand things differently and I look at things differently. But it was hard to go through that and just have people that you know love you. I mean, you know they love you, but they just genuinely don't understand.
Yeah.
And because they don't understand, they like villainize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very hard. Mm-hmm. Especially when, like you said, they love you. Mm-hmm. And you know they love you. It's not a jealousy thing. It's not an envy thing. It's they love you and they want the best for you, but they just don't understand. And because they don't understand, they're just so jaded and just so far off from where you are. It's like I don't want to open up because you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
And before I give you more ammo to look at me differently, I just won't give you anything at all.
Yeah. But then that's tough because it's like it's very important in a friendship to me to open up about things.
Yeah.
And so it feels weird to not be able to open up to your friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it creates a different connection when we open up to each other about things that we're not just going to talk to an acquaintance about or I might not talk to my mom about or something like that. Yeah. We are opening up about this. But then when I can't do that, now the connection becomes more surface level instead of actually being like my friend for real. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. Not to say you got to do that with all your friends. I'm not saying that, but it just sucks sometimes when you can't do that and you know you want to.
Right. But I think that, again, goes back into knowing your friends. You just got to know Who can handle this? Who can't? Or it's not even that who can't handle it, who has the capacity, who has the understanding. Because again, we're all living life. We're just not living the same lives. So it's very important to understand that it's not that they don't care. It's not that they don't want to understand. It's just, it's so far from their own life or lifestyle and experience. They just don't get it. So this is why. And it wasn't until I got on the other side of this to where I was like, oh my goodness, I could see how I was very, judgmental, or I was very harsh, or I was very closed-minded to others. But it took me getting to where I am today to understand that, because I was the same way as a lot of my friends are, even right now. I've just come to a different spot.
So what are some red flags when you've met someone that makes you be like, that ain't gonna be my friend, or we're gonna be acquaintances, we're not gonna be that close?
Name dropping when you tell a story.
Okay.
That's a real big red flag for me. Like name dropping. In with outside of like the proper context.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you don't need to say the name of the person that's going on with. You just because you telling that business.
Come on.
And you finna tell my business.
Come on.
But what I have learned, and y'all catch hold of this, don't get mad at somebody else for telling your business that you couldn't keep to yourself anyway. Like, if I was to tell you something, I would trust that it stays between you and I. But if you were to go tell Jody Blow or Judy Flip, I couldn't even keep it to myself. So how am I going to hold you to a standard that I didn't even meet?
But you got to be able to talk to people about stuff.
You do. But again, every action has a reaction. Though that wasn't ideal and you would want a safe space and everything is all right. But the point of the message is, if it happens, it's nobody's fault but yours.
This is true.
And not in I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just, that's just the flat truth of it. It got out because you let it out. And of course you would want somebody to be that safe space. I completely understand the point that you're making, and you would want to be open. But if it was to get out, it just is what it is.
Yeah, it was out when you let it out.
Right. It's
a very unfortunate reality.
But it's the truth.
Very unfortunate.
And I don't think enough people, just think about that.
Yeah.
I can't be upset for somebody telling my business if I told my business. And I would rather you get in front of something than have to go behind it. I'd rather put out my own business, but whatever.
That they say, spill your own tea.
Hello? You don't have no power behind this. I told you that last week.
Yeah, that's why you got to have a therapist, because they are legally bound.
Hello? HIPAA getting involved.
We bless God for a therapist, honey.
Hello?
My God.
But that's a big red flag to me.
That's true. No, you do have to pay attention, because it's all good when somebody's spilling somebody else's tea.
Hello?
Huh?
Maybe right there in my cup too. And they said, what, girl?
Until it's yours.
Hello?
And that's for every area in life. Paying attention to what people do when it's not regarding you, because if they're going to do it to them, baby, they're going to do it to you. They say a dog who will bring a bone will carry one too. The bone ain't going one way, baby.
Hello?
I'm bringing this one because I'm about to take another one.
What you learn in math, what you do on one side, you got to do on the other.
Opposite. Come on, physics.
Hello? Yeah, I'm not going to talk back.
It's the truth. No, so I know that we overlook that a lot, where you think, oh, they wouldn't do that to me.
Yeah, they would. As much as you wouldn't want them to. They're human.
Always a possibility.
People are human, and they are going to make mistakes.
Stay ready.
I'm sure that in our friendship, we've made mistakes with each other, but it's because we're human. We are more cognizant, and we don't try to make those mistakes, but it just happens.
It's inevitable.
Yeah.
That's very true. Stay ready. Don't have to get ready.
Hello?
Yeah.
Now it's just how you work through those things when you are disappointed by the other person. That's what makes the friendship.
Yeah. And then considering like motive and stuff too.
Yeah.
A lot of time, but I think it can still be a red flag even if their motive was not malicious. Because at a certain point, ignorance is not acceptable to me. And I just feel like we've reached an age where I'm going to hold you accountable for your ignorance. Even if it's not malicious. You're responsible at this point. We're in our 30s or above that. So whatever you didn't know, whatever somebody didn't tell you, this is now your responsibility. So if you're choosing to remain ignorant, I'm going to hold you accountable for that. And I still feel like that is a red flag. Because ignorance is a choice at this point.
Fair.
When you're a child, okay, somebody didn't tell you. At this point, it is your choice to be ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
When
like
Google is a click away.
You
Chat
can do
GPT.
all of this. You can go to therapy.
Yeah.
You can look it up. You can read a book. You could talk to your pastor. You could go, there's so many different things you could do to not be ignorant. So if you're not doing those things, then you are actively choosing to be so.
Okay. That's very fair.
So that's something too, because I think that I choose to believe in like people not being malicious. But I still can hold you accountable for the ignorance.
What does holding someone accountable look like? What is it?
Setting boundaries or, going ahead and categorizing somebody based off of the things that they say and the things that they do and not always giving the BOD.
I like the cheese.
I learned the BOD. So, I'm beyond like benefit of the doubt. We are too old. You got to make choices now. Life is active decisions.
Life is active decisions. Okay.
And if you're not making active decisions, you are passively agreeing to be ignorant.
This is good. This is good teaching.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just irritates me because we've gotten to that point in life where it's like, nah, baby, this you now. Mama, daddy, background, how you grew up, childhood, okay. Well, not your fault.
I never had to figure, nobody ever taught me. And okay, baby, you're not 45.
Not your fault, but it is your responsibility.
That's good.
It doesn't have to be your fault, but it is still your responsibility, honey. And at this point, we gotta take hold of it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to me to have a mature relationship, because you can't have a mature relationship with somebody who can't take accountability. It's always going to be something or someone else's fault.
Yeah.
And so then I can't talk to you about it. I can't bring something to you that I didn't like or that you said that I was offended by. I can't have mature conversations with you because it's always going to be something or someone else's fault. But for us to relate, you have to be able to take personal accountability, even if you didn't mean it. You know what I'm saying? Again, it doesn't have to be your fault. It could still be your responsibility, though. So if I didn't mean to offend you, I can still apologize for offending you and take accountability for what I said in my ignorance. But now that I know, I can do better. Yeah. But I have to take accountability to even know and do better.
This is true.
If it's somebody else's fault, then it's like, I didn't have any part in that. Yes, you did, even if ignorance was your part.
Okay.
So I think mature friendships at this age require just so many different levels of like mental, emotional, like awareness and intelligence.
This is very true.
I don't have like patience for it anymore.
Well, that's who you are as a woman. I don't believe that everybody is privy to emotionally intelligent people around them. You even know about emotional intelligence because you desire to have that for yourself.
Yes.
There's a certain standard that you live. So everything around you must be elevated as well.
There's a boundary.
Yeah. So that's a boundary and a standard that you have for your life. So that's why your friendships and relationships that you have fall in line with that, because that's an internal thing.
Right. Because I feel like disappointment is as a result of your expectations. And I cannot set expectations if I don't also set boundaries. So if I expect you to do this, it is therefore a boundary. And when you don't meet that expectation or you cross over that boundary, now that affects how I feel. So it could be a disappointment or it could be a great thing, like, oh, they did meet the expectation or they did honor my boundary. But I won't know any of that unless I manage my expectations properly. You know what I mean? And then communicating that. So it's the first time somebody does it, okay, maybe you didn't know. But now that I've told you, what happens now? Now the expectation is set on both ends. There's a boundary here. So what, are you going to honor it? Are you going to step over it? Are you going to bump into it? You're going to tell me that I don't need to have that and I'm doing too much? Like all of that informs my ability to know you better and how healthy this relationship is.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very nice that you can take those thoughts and really just articulate it like that, because everybody doesn't know to look for certain things and base how you're going to move from that. Everybody doesn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, boundaries and expectations are really, really important because, like I said, it's when you're disappointed, and because we get a lot of messages about people and their friends. My friend did this. My friend is not this. And me and my friend fell out. Me and my friend are growing apart. Boundaries and expectations.
Yeah.
And have they been communicated?
Yeah.
Because communication is such a huge piece to relationships of all kinds. It don't have to be friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships of all kinds require communication. And so usually if I respond to a DM, that'll be the first thing. Have you talked to them?
Right.
And it's a very foreign concept. I was thinking about that on the way over here. I was listening to a show that my pastor had did on his podcast. And I'm like, people don't communicate. People don't communicate.
Communicating takes responsibility, maturity, and capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have the maturity and not the capacity.
Mm-hmm.
You might have the capacity, but you don't have the willingness to actually desire to do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and all of them, they got to work together for your good.
All them things got to work together.
Yeah, because sometimes think about things that you want to do or you want to get done, but it's just like, I cannot do them right now.
Mm-hmm.
I only have room to do certain things. Or even conversations that you and I are willing to have, even on this platform, we have to be in the place to do them,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
How long do you think you give somebody to bring something to your attention? Like, could I talk to you about something that offended me back in March? Today?
Ooh, child. No, I don't know. What is my statute of limitations? I don't know an exact number, but don't tell me some stuff from last year. I'm not even her anymore. So she's sorry.
Danielle, please.
No, because like we've talked about, like I'm constantly moving forward. So if you bring up something from a year ago that you never said nothing about, I'm gonna be like, girl.
Okay, but that's this year. So I can't tell you nothing that you did back in March.
It's December. Nah. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna still tell you though. No, I'm joking. I don't even know. I don't even remember March.
Hello. Which March?
Hello.
I'll be thinking about March from 2 years ago. Like, yeah, last March. Child, these years be running together.
Hello.
No.
Especially the way November ran out.
I mean, I'm saying.
Act like it had somewhere to go.
No, I think that you should fairly quickly bring things to people's attention. It's only fair.
But is it any less, for the other person, is it any less heavy? Like, just because I didn't tell you what happened in June doesn't mean it's not still bothering me in December, but maybe I just haven't been in a space to talk to you about it.
I mean, I'm not saying don't tell the person about it, but you should venture to bring things up as quickly as possible, because if I was in a space in June and now it's December, I'm not in that space no more.
Yeah.
I could have fixed that space in June. You know what I'm saying? It's not giving me the opportunity to fix because it was so long ago. All I can do is just say I apologize, because 9 times out of 10, I'm just not there anymore.
Right.
So it's just like you're not giving the other person an opportunity to fix things in the moment.
Yeah.
Although I totally understand not wanting to talk about things like right same day, but like months later, I just feel like you're robbing that person of an opportunity, and that's not right either.
Robbing them of an opportunity to show you something that you didn't expect, rob them an opportunity of growth. Like, what do you mean?
Just an opportunity to whatever. It could be they could have fixed something in that moment, especially if it's something that they didn't mean to do. Like if I said something or did something back in June, I really could have apologized and did something different a long time ago, but you didn't give me the opportunity to do that. And that's not fair to me. Because now all I can do is say, I apologize. Is that enough? You know?
Okay.
Whereas I could have did something more tangible if it was more in that tangible moment.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
But like I said, I totally understand not wanting to talk about something like right that moment. But I still think we should venture to do things quickly. Even the Bible said, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Like, I think we should venture to do things quickly.
I love it when you quote scripture.
You know what I mean?
I do think that you brought up a very good point. You should give people an opportunity to, evolve and change and allow them to rectify a situation. I do get that. Yeah. But I think that some people are very conflict avoidant.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
Very guilty of that. But my thing is, I will never bring it up. I won't bring it up a year later. It'll just be under the rug.
But you don't think that would still weigh in on how you feel, even in a micro way? Or
yeah,
how you interact?
Sure. Mm-hmm. But I just don't like conflict. But the thing is, one thing I will say for a green flag in a relationship is that friction is necessary in a relationship. You hear when it's time for a plane to take off, they can only gain that speed on the runway because of the friction the wheels have with the ground. That's how we gain speed, whether we're driving a car or whatever. That's why your tires have those ridges in them. We're creating friction because we need that to move. You know what I mean? And so I have been guilty of avoiding the friction, but you need friction to get somewhere. If there's no friction, you're not going nowhere, baby. You're sliding and you have no control.
You know what I'm saying?
You have no control of where you're going. You're just going.
Yeah.
And so not to be afraid of that is definitely a green flag, because I do have some relationships or friendships where I know I can't bring things to them that I didn't like that they said, or I didn't like that they did, because they'll take it personally. It'll become a thing. And so I'm just I just won't say nothing. You know what I mean? But that's not okay, because
it's not fair.
Now our friendship is not able to move because I'm avoiding the friction needed for that movement.
Right.
So a green flag to me is somebody who is able to handle hard conversations of conflict or different things that happen without taking it personally and making it some huge thing. That's even in relationship, because you hate to be in a relationship with somebody you can't say nothing to, or it's a fight, or they crying, and it's I just wanted to say this one thing and that's it. It's not even that big of a deal, but because it's gonna turn into all of that, I don't even want to say nothing. Okay. Why you saying okay like that?
I'm just I do be crying though. But it's just not about me.
No, it's not. But I've had to analyze that for myself, relationship wise, making sure when we have tough conversations, I'm not sitting up here crying every time, because I don't want him to feel like he don't want to tell me something because he don't want me to cry. He don't want to see me cry.
Right.
So I'm okay, not to say that I can't be emotional at times, but everything
there's a time
can't make me cry, because this man need to be able to talk to me without it being all of that. You know, he just saying one thing, but you'll take it personal. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. He doesn't like anything that I did. He quite literally hates me. No, baby. He just didn't like the one thing.
That one specific isolated matter that's probably never going to happen again anyway.
That part. So I'm saying I'm not there. I'm just saying it's something that I've realized.
Okay. Switching gears. In our relationship, I don't feel like we've had a lot of hiccups, but the hiccups that we have had, how has that impacted you?
This is really different for me. Our friendship is really different for me because, like I said, my other friends are just it's very much low maintenance friendships. So we talk more, we connect more, we have more relatability. All those different things are just on a more intense level than my other friendships, because baby, I see you when I see you, talk to you when I talk to you, bada bing bada boom, we done. So stop. So this is different. I don't know where it came from. I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna act like that didn't happen. But yeah, so this is different for me. So it is a huge learning curve. Huge learning curve.
Okay. I feel like I'm definitely more anxious. I want to say this because you're not going to be easily offended. Sometimes I feel really anxious in my attachment with you because I just don't want to mess up. I just don't. And you don't give me you haven't given me this conditional friendship or this conditional love. It's just, I don't be wanting the consequences of upsetting you.
What consequences?
There's consequences.
What are they?
You shut down.
That's my right.
I'm not saying it's not. I don't want the consequence of it.
That's not, but so you robbing me of hearing this or knowing this because you don't want me to have time to process it.
Yeah. I'm glad we got this. Yeah, like, I mean, it's not fun when the rabbit got the gun. Like, no. I don't like it. I don't like when you shut down because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix it.
You don't have to fix it.
Yes, I do.
It's okay for people to need time to process things.
No. No, it's not.
Yes.
Because in the middle of you needing to process things, there is a break in the system. No, all systems are go.
Girl.
We don't need to shut down for routine maintenance.
I was about to say everything got to shut down.
No, we ain't.
Even your body got to sleep at night.
Okay, well,
and what happened when it don't?
My spirit be up. It never sleeps nor slumbers.
That is the Lord, not you. Yeah, everything got to.
I mean, right, but it just makes me anxious, and I don't want to deal with it. So I rather just do my best to like try to get everything right. And sometimes I still, fall short, but I just don't. You don't know what it's like. You don't know you like how I know you.
But I just feel like I haven't arrived, but I have worked on doing things quicker, talking about things quicker. But I still be needing time.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to take my time.
Right. Not if you never know.
That's not fair, though. That's not fair.
I'm not saying it's fair and I'm not saying it's right, but I can be honest in saying that sometimes I don't want to deal with the conflict or I don't want to say deal with. I just don't want to go through the motions of what it's like to have friction between the two of us. I hate it.
But we need friction.
Okay, so how do you think
relationships need friction?
How do you think that last conflict went?
What was the last conflict? Huh? I don't know what you're saying.
Are you kidding?
I have no idea what you're saying. Oh.
Can they even see me? I feel like my hand wasn't
like I said, I think when we had talked, like, it's as a result of human relationship. Like, you gonna do stuff I don't like, I'm gonna do stuff you don't like.
Right.
Like, it doesn't bother me that we went through something. It doesn't bother me. Why did you make that face?
I was like, oh, okay.
Because it's inevitable. Like,
I understand that it's inevitable, but just the motions of going through, like, with my best friend,
it's not fun.
It's not fun.
But I don't know. It's like, it's a part of life.
Right.
Just like when you're in a relationship, like, it ain't real till y'all almost break up. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have conflict, and I'm not saying that it should be toxic. I'm not saying that at all. But some kind of disagreement once a year is not the most horrible thing in the world.
Right. I guess for me, I'd be like mad for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And then I just want to get things to go back to normal. Mm-hmm. And when it's not back to normal in those 10 minutes, I'm scrambling at minute 11.
Yeah.
But you're not like that. Like, you cool with letting stuff ride out. Well, I'm not saying you cool with letting stuff ride out.
No, but like I said, I be needing to process things, and I'm not gonna like usurp the processing of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's important sometimes, though, even for you to like, it's okay to like dig into the emotion and not like gloss over it. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to dig into the emotion.
Yeah.
Whatever the emotion is, even if it's happiness. Yeah. Like, whatever the emotion is, it's okay to like sit with it for a second.
And maybe that's something that I talk to my therapist about. I mean, you know that. Like, I like to really use my intellect as a means to not feel. Or I like to, okay, well, it's really no point in being upset about this because X, Y, and Z. But it's like, nah, I'm upset because I'm upset. It doesn't have to make sense, you know?
That's the way it is, yeah.
But I do have a hard time with not letting with sitting with feelings and emotions at times. I'm like, okay, let's just fix it. Mm-hmm. Let's just fix it now. Like, I don't like conflict in that regard. I don't mind having the conflict itself, but it's just like if it's going to affect day to day or how we interact, or it's going to mess up the system of how we are with each other, I want to fix it right now.
You're too familiar.
It be like that though.
Yeah. But there's just, like we were talking about, there's just really something good about being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But there is something good about being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that just goes back into that change piece, and we know how I feel about change. Like, I'll allow it, but at the same time, it's like...
within my bounds.
Right. And to me, that makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm. Controlled and just like planned out. Semi-planned out.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it changed, but I had control over how much changed and when it changed and
right.
how it changed.
Right.
Yeah. I see that. But no, yeah, I mean, I'm working on getting over things faster, but I also just...
Which you have done a good job.
Honoring my feelings too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, I've for so long swept stuff under the rug or didn't say nothing about stuff because I didn't want to go through nothing and I didn't want to... So actually me honoring my feelings and being like, no, I feel like this today is my reach, and then your reach is the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we are in our friendship, what would be some practical steps that you would say somebody needs to go through to kind of get what we have? I want them to have their own, but just being real, like what are some practical steps you think you would give?
I don't have no practical steps. This friendship is an answered prayer, but it's a prayer that I didn't know to pray. Like, it's one of those God answered the prayer that was in my heart that I didn't even know was in my heart.
His goodness. His goodness did this.
You know what I mean? Like, I always wanted like a really, really good friend. And that's not to say that I didn't have friends.
Right,
but like I said, it's always like we're at different places in life. You know, we can only meet so far because of where we are in life and the things that we think and, you know, all those different things. And so I was just following the leading of the Holy Spirit. Like, we had met in passing and we would just chat here and there. And we had met up a couple times just on some other stuff. But I was just following the leading of the Holy Spirit when he said, spend time with your single friends, because it was only a handful. Hello?
I was one of the ones that made it.
So you was in the number. So just following the Holy Spirit. And then as we're in the friendship, I'm learning and growing like in real time. Yeah. Because I haven't had those like intimate moments with a friend so much, because like I said, my friends are like low maintenance. I'm okay with being by myself, so I be by myself a lot. You know, it takes me being like, okay, let me go see so and so. Let me schedule a dinner. Let me, you know what I mean? Because I'm cool being at the house by myself. So this is the most like intimate friendship that I've hosted.
So what maintenance do you think you would call our friendship? Because you say you host a lot of low maintenance, or you like low maintenance. Would you say this is high or moderate, or this is just intentional maintenance?
I think it's like moderate maintenance. I think in the last 2 years, it has shifted. It was more maintenance, but it has shifted because I know our lives have shifted. So the maintenance leveled down, just life, you know? Right. But yeah, I would say it's moderate maintenance. I'm not gonna see you like once every 4 months.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't let that happen. Because, you know, I'll pop up. Friend, you ain't answer my text.
Yeah, so, yeah, but no, about moderate.
Okay, I can agree with that.
I had to like shift it down a gear.
Well, because you got your man? You think you better than me?
No.
A little bit.
No, I don't. It's the grace of God.
Baby, that man, he's treating you right, and I'm happy. I'm happy about that. It feels so good that I don't have to go upside his head. It does. Like, actually liking your friend's partner, it feels good, because...
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
When you don't like your friends, man,
yeah,
but they love them,
yeah, it's nothing like I did not like old boy.
Yeah,
I just had a feeling,
an inkling,
you know.
Yeah,
and that's not a good feeling either, because it's like watching your friend be happy but you got a feeling. Ooh, it's tough. Ooh, because I'm like, I want to be happy that you're happy, but also
I know something's going.
It's not settling within
something
me.
ain't right in the potato salad.
Settling. That was really hard.
Really?
Because I felt so bad. Oh, I felt so bad. But I just couldn't shake it. Like I just,
I was so excited, so in love.
You were, and I just had this feeling, and I was just like,
you were so right. So right. Was that a worse feeling knowing that you were right?
Like after it was over?
Yeah.
It was worse because, like I told you when we had that conversation, I did not want that to happen.
Yeah.
I cried on my couch.
You literally
while
cried.
you were in the thick of it and everything's okay.
Yeah.
I cried and was like, I don't want you to go through this because I know how it feels.
Yeah.
So when it happened, I was like, that's exactly what I said. So yeah, that was really, really, really hard. Really hard to like be with you and like, and then could you tell? Yeah. That was hard, man. Because I didn't want you to be able to tell, but also I couldn't shake it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That was
But
hard.
I knew it's so funny how friendship work and understanding works. Because it's like, I knew you weren't feeling it, but I knew you were trying to be as present and as nice and as this and as that as possible. But it's just like, yeah, something ain't right, friend.
Yeah.
But you're trying to save face, but it's like, I don't want to be right, but I feel like I am.
That was a tough part of our friendship
Really?
For me. That was real tough. Because I felt like such a bad friend. Because it's like, you know, you see your friend happy, you want to be happy for your friend.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm happy, but also,
no.
You know? That was really hard for me because I took it personally. Like, I'm not being a good friend. I talked to my therapist about it. I had a whole therapy session. I was like, I feel horrible because I'm not being a good friend.
What did she say?
I ain't gonna tell you all of that.
Girl, we gotta offline that. I was like, you had a host. That is news to me. Dang, friend, I ain't know. Let me slide you some on the copay.
Man, it was deep. I felt horrible.
That is why I didn't know it was that. I mean, I knew it was deep for you, but I didn't know that you were. I knew you were invested. I don't even know how to explain it. But it's like, dang, I didn't know you had to have therapy behind it.
I did.
Girl, we got an offboard. What's it called? Offline. We got to offline this conversation. Hold on. I hate that. I mean, I hate that things ended the way that they did, and I still feel like I definitely feel the after effects of it even now. But you know, God is good, and it was a learning process, and hopefully it's gonna all make sense.
Yeah, man. Relationship stuff with your friend is a whole nother conversation. Like,
that's what we should talk about.
Every phase of it, the dating, the actual relationship, the friends who are married, like, ooh. How
do you have relationship with your friend's partner? Like, is it appropriate to have a relationship? Should y'all be talking? Should y'all be cool? Like, are you, like the ins and outs? I definitely think that we should talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like everybody has a different, what they like differently in the relationship that their partner has with their friends. Because for me, I'm so okay with like it being buddy, like talking. But then also sometimes it's like, leave my man alone. Don't talk to my man. And that's crazy. Well, I don't want to say that's crazy, but that's just, everybody has their different things.
Very true.
Everybody has their different things.
It's like personalities, all different things come into play. Yeah. The biggest thing for me is just liking your friend's partner and like feeling okay about it. That's the biggest part, more than like, oh, I gotta have a relationship with him. Like, nah, man, I don't have to have a relationship with your partner. Yeah. I don't personally. Like, of course, I want to know him and you know, all of that stuff. But we don't have to like be buddy.
Kick it, talk, text.
Yeah.
We're going to offline that. I'm not going to figure it out. I'm like, what? That's real-time news to me.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I'm not going to let it go.
All right, y'all. We have to go. We absolutely have to go.
Oh, snap.
Way over.
Oh, snap. Okay.
All right, y'all. So this was another amazing, wonderful, excellent episode of
Your Favorite Aunties Podcast. Bye.